and welcome back to the Citizen Channel. Hope you're all staying safe and well. Yeah, a little special today. Yes, we've had this isn't available in from the normal sources. If you had your City shirt in May, the brand new one, of course, with the maroon collar, etc., you may have got a little surprise, or you should have got a little surprise in your package in May. Obviously, there was probably a limited amount, but I think the club did aim to give everyone who bought one of these in May one of these little treats as well as the shirt. Yes, they asked Dave and Sue at King of the Kippax to do a little special edition to go, obviously, with the tribute to Colin Bell, obviously King of the Kippax. That's what it's all about. So if the club thought it'd be a good thing to do, so they asked Dave and Sue and the team to stick together this. And obviously Dave and Sue had to keep it quiet for a little while because obviously this is a little bit back in time. But yeah, so they put one together. So obviously Dave sent me a copy of this. So I'm going to have a quick look through and see what's in it. And obviously, if you guys have got one of these and you don't subscribe to King of the Kippax, why not? And why not? After I'm sure after reading this, you will want to subscribe. So there will be some subscription rates on the screen and stuff like that. We're going to have a flick through it anyway and see what's in it. Of course, it was the Colin Bell shirt launch, of course, and what happened was City actually said if you can do this on Colin Bell. So what Dave and Sue did is obviously take elements from previous King of the Kippax, especially around the sad time that Colin Bell passed away, of course. But the club gave them access as well to a couple of City men's players and a couple of the women players, plus Buzzer as well. So he's involved in this as well. So we'll have a look through and see what they had to say anyway. Just a quick look through what's inside it. If you haven't got one of these and you've got a shirt or you've not even looked at it yet, it's always worth having a look. So we're going to have a look through that today anyway, because it won't be generally available. It's not available on subscription anyway. So as at this point in time, you never know what the future holds, but as at this point in time, as it's the 7th of June 2022, you can't get it through any normal means, put it that way. So please, yeah, so let's have a look through it. Let's have a look. It's 32 pages. New stuff written, of course, and as I said, sections taken from old King of the Kippaxes. And the front cover there features Foden, of course, Jill Scott, and of course Colin Bell himself, obviously in the old kit. There's some great images, isn't there? I've got a great image that have been put around with him in the new kit as well that people have put together, which is fantastic. Get the editorial, of course. Dave and Sue reflects, of course, on the man himself, Colin Bell, including some personal meetings that they had with him. And Dave was pretty chuffed when Colin called him Mr. Wallace. I thought everyone called Dave Mr. Wallace. I'm not surprised, Dave. I don't know why he was shocked by it. I think we all did that. Then we get a little spotlight on the first of the City players that are interviewed, and it's Phil Foden. Yeah, so obviously a question and answer. And they asked him about the new shirt, and Phil finished by saying, "I like the retro look and can't wait to play in it. I think the fans will like it too." I think they do, and sales back that up, don't we? Let's be honest about it. I think it's one of the biggest selling shirts that we've had in City's history. Then there's a great interview, as I said, with the legend Buzzer himself, so Mike Summerby, and some great stuff. Yeah, Dave asked him about whether he'd played with Colin Bell when he was at Bury, obviously when Mike Summerby was at Swindon. And he said he actually remembers playing at Bury, and I think he said they got a 6-1 hammer in, and I think Colin Bell scored 3 or 4 of the goals. And he also mentioned that he actually played against Skip as well. He actually played for Swindon against Bath City, so I'm not sure whether that was a friendly or a cup match. I'm not too sure, but he also played against Tony Buck. So great little interview with Mike Summerby, of course. In the beginning, that's a feature. Just looking at Dave, I mean, obviously, if you know Dave and you know a little bit about him, you might know some of this, you might learn something, but it's just a piece on how Dave started, how he became a City fan, how he started King of the Kippax, a bit on the other fanzine, stuff like that. So it's a great little piece. Just if you don't know much about Dave and Sue, his wife, of course. Apparently, yeah, one interesting fact was apparently sales of King of the Kippax actually peaked back in 1991, so over 30 years ago. I think that's when I peaked as well, in all fairness, Dave. I think I peaked in 1991, so that's another tale, isn't it? Well, we won't dwell on that one. Yeah, Emily, of course, Kippax girl Emily, she does I think this is taken from what one of the back issues, does a little brilliant tribute, of course, to the king himself, Colin Bell again. And there's a great, fantastic, all these lovely images that we do, they'll be up on screen. There'll be one or two of showing, but they do all these images of the grounds, and it's literally just a 2-page feature on the evolution of the city stadiums over time, of course, starting with Hyde Road, and then how is it expanded and what capacities it went to, then a switch to Main Road, and how that was expanded, and then what's the opposite to expanded? Impanded, and I'm not too sure, but when it went small, obviously with the seats, all-seater stage and all that sort of thing. So there's great images of time. And we finish up with the 63,000 Etihad. Yeah, I did see a comment from a guy when these new shirts come out asking about. I've seen the pictures for the 63,000 Etihad. So is it happening? So I think it is happening. I was, but I don't know when. But that's the whole point, isn't it? So they can get big European games at the Etihad and stuff like that. So that actually say what the last image is the 63,000 Etihad, which we can imagine what that looks like now. It'll just be the carbon copy of the south stand in the north stand, won't it? But obviously the layout is yet to be decided, of course. When that happens, we don't know. I'll have to ask Dave on that, whether there's any confirmation. He was allowed to put the picture in, so City didn't stop him. So, it must be on. It must be going on. It must be happening. The first of the 2 women's team player interviews with Alex Greenwood, just about a time and personal things as well. And there's a great little piece, of course. Obviously, Dave and Sue met the Bell family when with this. You've probably seen the little video of the Colin Bell shirt launch, of course, and obviously that was a bit back in time. It was a bit colder that night, but obviously Dave and Sue then arranged to go to see Marie, Colin's wife, in Cheshire. And obviously they talk about the stories and things about Colin and the sadness of near the end of Colin's life as well, the passing of Colin. So a bit sad, a bit very poignant, but obviously they got to see sort of wedding pictures and stuff like that. But they never nearly got there actually because they couldn't find the place. It must be very secluded, this home in Cheshire, because apparently they couldn't find it. Got lost a few times getting there. But a great little piece on the Bell family, specifically Marie, sharing her memories, of course. And the testimonial year looks back. It's up on the wall there. I've got one myself. I went to this one. Looks back, of course, at what was done for the testimonial year for Colin Bell and all the events, all the different things that they had during the year to actually raise money for the Colin Bell testimonial. That's penned by Phil Bellamy. A great chat with the women's keeper, the second of the women's interviews, Ellie Roebuck. John Burfield, a regular, of course, of King of the Kippax. Also Sean Riley and Colin Savage, of course, a big friend of mine. Colin Savage all shared their thoughts on Colin Bell, of course, and that extracts taken from previous issues as well. They had to keep this very quiet, Dave, so they couldn't really tell people what was going on. So obviously they couldn't let certain people in on what was going on with City on this one. Spotlight, that's a second look at a City player. We've got Jack Grealish, so there's a spotlight on Jack Grealish. And he was asked what he would be if he wasn't a footballer. And he said he'd like to be an F1 driver. Well, I hope his hair doesn't get in the way. He'll be having a few crashes, won't he? But yeah, that was what he wanted to be if he wasn't a footballer, an F1 driver. But he perhaps would have had to have a different haircut and less of the hairbands. Yeah, Jack, that's for sure. And the end of the magazine, as I say, it's the end of the magazine. It's the more or less the highlight for me. And I like a comic book style, comic book images, etc., to try and aim for younger readers as well, so it's not too wordy, and that's a great idea. And there's 8 pages just called the Colin Bell story, covering from obviously his youth up to sadly he's passing away. Includes certain things like a rejection letter for a trial. He went for a trial at Arsenal and got rejected by them, so it includes that. That's good. He didn't like wearing I remember the old fancy, everyone loved him. As kids in the 70s, the Admiral England kits, obviously everyone, but apparently he didn't like wearing the England shirts because he said they were very scratchy, so he didn't like that. Of course, they're a great, so if you remember Tony the Tiger advert, that was a pathetic impression, I'm sorry guys. Yeah, he co-starred with Tony the Tiger, of course, in adverts in 1972 for Kellogg's Frosties. They are. Other brands are available, of course. And he also, Marie was very kind to him. She allowed him to judge beauty contests at Butlins in Scarborough. So he went to Scarborough, obviously, when he'd finished with football. Colin Bell was actually one of the judges on these beauty pageants, these beauty contests. So there you go. So lots of other things. I've only mentioned snippets of what it is. in this wonderful, say, a great read, a great bonus if you get the shirt. And the back page, of course, has more squad players, including Pep and other squad players like Grealish, Zinchenko, Edison, etc. Sort of showing the shirt and showing some sort of tracksuit tops as well as the actual shirt itself. So there you go. That's this little special. Very good, brilliant. There's the back there. Just show you the back with the guys on. It should be an image on the computer, but. Yeah. Say, I didn't know who that lady was until I don't know too much about the ladies' football team. In all fairness, it's hard enough trying to recognise the guys, the blokes. I still get a couple mixed up now, and I watch them every week. But hey, there you go. Anyway, there you go. Great bonus to having the great shirt, of course. Let me know what you think if you got it. Did you get it with the shirt? There may have been. I'm not sure if everyone. As I said, I know they were doing it in May. Now we're into June now. I'm not sure it's still being carried on. Obviously, there must have been a limited amount. But obviously, I think Dave's talking about reprints and things. So if there is a problem, obviously let me know and I can sort of just mention it to Dave and he can mention it to City and perhaps we can do something about it if you didn't get one when you bought this shirt in May. So give us a shout anyway, but fantastic. So yeah, there you go. So as well as a great shirt, you get a great King of the Kippax as well. And if you don't subscribe and you get it or you don't get it, or please, the stuff's on the screen for subscriptions. And obviously it'll be back, of course, for the new season at the end of July. So fantastic! So you've got your shirt and you got a King of the Kippax. What more? You know, in the old season cards, you used to get little bonuses, didn't we? That would have been fantastic. Getting your shirt and getting this little King of the Kippax. Well, I bet people were confused unless there was a covering letter with it. It probably was. But let me know. Have you guys got one? And you did get a covering letter? Let me just see what it says because I've not seen the covering letter for it. But there you go. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this, and certainly hope you wear the shirt with pride and read the magazine with pride. King of the Kippax, brilliant stuff. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I'm going to do the rest of the day. Have a great one. You and your family, please stay safe. Come on, City. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.